guys, squeeze in, squeeze in. I can't scream.
Yeah, you can.
Come on, girls, come on. What? Squeeze in. It's okay. Pull your chairs over. Come on. All right. It's like being back in the wrestling room right now. All right? This guy. So first off, thank you guys all so much for coming tonight. I'm gonna look at the wrestlers here because that's what I do regularly. It's been a pleasure and an honor getting the chance to coach all of you guys. So it's gonna be tonight's gonna be a tough one for sure. So real quick, so just a couple quick stats and highlights as a team. So this year we took 5th place as a team. We didn't do as good as we could have done just because we didn't have a full lineup. But ultimately, going to every single dual meet, as most of you guys experienced, our lineup was strong, heavy, good wrestlers, tough wrestlers. So we ended up taking 5th place as a team for the Mount Hamilton division, which was in the Blossom Hill Athletics League, for those of you who aren't sure. This is certainly the toughest division, as many of you guys know. It's the A division, competing with a lot of the top level schools like Gilroy and others. So honestly, I couldn't be more proud of all of the work that these athletes put in. Every single day showing up, busting your butts, working hard, pushing each other, lifting each other up, helping each other get better. We had a couple real true leaders in the room who were constantly helping one another, pushing each other to be better. Together, I mean, it's really hard to do this as just a 2-person staff, right? There's 30 people on the mat all the time between JV and varsity and girls. I mean, it's constantly requiring these individuals to mentor one another, these individuals to be there to support one another. So thank you guys very much. Give yourselves a round of applause. We also received a couple plaques, a couple good things. We took 3rd place at the Peninsula Invitational as a team, which is incredible. I also have all of the medals from that for you guys, so before you leave, please remind me, I'll get those to you. There you go, right? We took 8 boys wrestlers to the Varsity League Champions, and of the 8, we had 5 of them place. We also brought 2 girls, and both of them placed and earned a spot to compete in the CCS Masters. So, round of applause for you guys. Overall, I know there's moments and opportunities to obviously get better, and you always look back and reminisce about your career, about your opportunity to be out there, but truly, you guys should be looking at yourselves and being proud. It's only up from here. I always say this, right? Like, I didn't grow up until I graduated from high school. Even in high school, like, I always remember looking back and being like, man, I could have done so much better. I could have focused more. But I was proud of my accomplishments. Looking back now, I was proud. But what wrestling did for me really brought me to where I am in life. Being successful, having an opportunity, of having a family, having children, having a high schooler, opening a gym, like, wrestling really became the foundation for me growing up. And I think the same will apply for many of you guys. I know some of you are newer to wrestling, but it will take you so far in life. I mean, Jersey and I were talking about this earlier. We were talking about how Izzy actually just started lacrosse, and I was like, how do you think Izzy's gonna do? He's like, dude, she's a stud. She has a foundation. She's strong. She knows her stance. She knows what to do. That stuff comes from wrestling. You don't see that from other sports. So really, I mean, just know that everything you guys did, it's gonna live with you for a lifetime, and be proud of that. So, anything you want to add, Chrissy?
Yeah, I had to deal with my dad when I was growing up that it was either I had to have a job or I had to be involved in a sport. Like, pretty easy decision. But that whole push into athletics not only led me into competing, and in my 4 years of high school, I varsity lettered 11 times. It took me right out of school, and I've never looked back. I've either competed, coached. I don't think I've taken a year off. I'm 51 now. I don't think I've taken a year off of athletics since I was 12. just builds a foundation. It just brings something into you. It brings, not only does it make you be able to shut off all the noise and turn off everything and be able to internalize things and just push through things on an individual basis, but it also really teaches you how to support other people and understand the needs of other people. And to really, more than anything for me, understand that every need is individual. Every single person that you interface the rest of your life, you're going to have to handle in a different way. And sports has just been the best way of learning how to do it. So, you know, I say it, you get in what you put in. You know, all this grind, all these days that it sucked, all the times you were wiping blood, all the times you were putting antibacterial on, all the bullshit that you went through is going to pay off tenfold in the future. You don't know it now, but it will.
Absolutely. And one thing I totally forgot to mention is, unfortunately, Uncle Sam, Coach Sam, we call him Uncle Sam on the mat. Coach Sam wasn't able to join us tonight, but he, same thing, very supportive of you guys. I mean, you guys all know it, right? There's a different culture in the wrestling room compared to something. You become close with one another. You're constantly beating each other up. It's the times where you get to roll with each other, sweat on each other, talk to each other, laugh with each other, joke with each other, and cry with each other. There were so many moments where, you know, throughout the season where it just became emotional, just watching these kids grow, and, you know, win or lose, it's an emotional moment, and it's an opportunity to learn. So I truly have been privileged and honored to have this opportunity to coach you guys and help you grow, whether that was, you know, in the wrestling room, on the wrestling mat, or it was just in life. So thank you. So yeah. With that, we'll get on to our individual speeches here. So we're going to start off with the JV folks. So this athlete was only a freshman. It was his freshman year, and this kid is already a beast. He ended the season with a 23-6 record. He took first at the Taz, took first at Lynbrook second man, and first at Milpitas Trojan Wars tournaments. He took second overall at the JV tournament and finished the season placing second at B-Vals. Can't wait to see what the future holds for this kid. His last, was it the last match? No, 2 matches before his last match. He ended up, both of them shot at the same time. He went head to head with this other kid. Busted his eye open. I mean, I have pictures, it was gnarly. We taped his entire head. He ended up wrestling all the way through the B-Vals JV tournament like a monster. Even the athletic trainer who was there was like, "Are you sure?" Questioning it. "Mom, I'm sorry." I begged and begged and begged. He begged and begged and begged, and he ended up finishing like a champ. So I'd like to welcome up Adam Busho. Adam's going to be awarded our Freshman of the Year this year. So come on up, Adam.
Ready to go, ask a lot of questions, something that I really like. Spent a lot of time talking to this wrestler. He's a good go-getter, learns quick, took third at the Taz, which is great. Hope he continues to do it. So Aiden, congratulations, man. Good to see you. Next guy is a perfect mix of comedian and wrestler. He spent most of the season messing with the varsity squad and pushing the varsity squad around. But to his credit, he was always willing to take the beating that came along with it. Billy. always there, and I mean always there, not only to support the team, the coaches, parents. He's coming to the mat, he's on everybody's sidelines, runs over, works the table if you need him to. I think one time he worked the table and wrestled in a match. You can always count on him for absolutely anything. One of the last guys to leave the room. Comes in, works hard every single day, gives it his all. His growth from when he first walked into the room until now has been monstrous and really been noticed by everyone. So, Mr. Hattersley, not only are we happy to give you your certificate here, but you've also earned the Coaches Award. So, congratulations. See, he's trying to go for a run. Is that motivated?
Yeah, go ahead, David.
Alright, so freshman year, of course I didn't do my best. I don't think I would have gone better if it wasn't for mostly seniors in the room. So I'm very appreciative of all these seniors for pushing me, getting me better, and I hope the future of LELAND Wrestling is bright.
Hey, there's one thing. No, I'm not. This is a rare time I'm actually not going to make fun of it. Right before senior night, he was the one guy, and this is the one thing that like just stuck with me through this season. Is everybody's talking about senior night, and everything's talking about anything, and I just hear David in the back, just as I'm walking by, in passing, go, "Yeah, it's going to be really emotional." So if it gives you any idea of what kind of heart this kid has, and 99.9% of the time I am going to make fun of him, but that one got me like.
All right, this next guy, you can literally count on him anytime. He always reached out to me and was like, "Hey coach, can I help? Can I volunteer? Can I show up? Work the tables?" On top of it, he'd show up to practice, he'd bust his butt every single time. He was a hard wrestler. He took third at the Taz, third at Rumble Second Man, third at Trojan War Tournament, and then ended the season by a bang, by pinning literally all of his opponents and taking first at B-Bounce, at JV B-Bounce. So, congratulations to Dylan Go. Dylan, if you guys don't know, so Dylan, started wrestling for the first time last year, right? The kid literally is a workhorse. Shows up every single day, busts his butt, tries to compete, tries to wrestle his way up, constantly looking to challenge the next wrestler, but doesn't ask. He knows when the time is right. So, congratulations on an amazing season. On top of taking first at JVP Vows, Dylan is also our JV MVP.
All right, dedicated, respectful, gives it his all. Second place at both the Milpitas JV tournament and at B-Vals. Proves every time that he gets out there, he's got what it takes to start to really get into competing at a high level. Can't wait to see what he continues to do as he goes further. And occasionally, mid-match, he needs potty breaks. Come on up, Q.
Sorry, Q. I had to throw that one in there. Alright, this next kid, he literally shows up on practice all the time, on time, never have to ask him to come into the room. He's on the mats, he's ready to go. Keeps his head down, he pushes himself every single time he's on the mat. He is a first-time wrestler, but he's learning, growing, getting better every single time. The one thing I regret not showing this season was the cradle. I'm not a huge fan of the cradle, but knowing his body type and his arm length, I think this kid could have locked in and absolutely crushed the cradle at the finish. Bruin, come on up.
All right. Yes, definitely moments when this guy had no idea what was going on. Had really intelligent questions like, Coach, what are weigh-ins? What time are weigh-ins? If it's 128, can I weigh 134? Commitment in the room all the time. Really drove in and put his nose into wrestling, and it did actually show. Again, another person that growth from beginning and growth to end. And both Varun and Utah were my 7th graders, so I'm going on multiple years of having to deal with them or knowing them. So couldn't be more proud of either one of them and see what they had did. So Utah, come on up, bud. All right. We're just going to start out with some accolades here. 2nd at the Milpitas JV Girls Tournament. 3rd at B-Vals. CCS Masters Qualifier. Okay? Puts it out there. Athlete in the pool, on the mat. Now I'm starting to see it on the field. Really bright future. Can't wait to see what the next few years bring. Isabel, come on up.
All right. I mean, I'm tall, so I'm going to the body type.
All right, this next one is a heartfelt one for me. She's a senior. Where's she at? She made sure to go out with a bang. She gave me a heart attack here and there. She's crying. She snagged 2nd place at Lynbrook Ladies Challenge, took 3rd at both Dustin Girls and Milpitas JV tournaments. Honestly, her positive energy, she always brought a boost, a smile to the room. Like mother, father, like daughter. It's a true statement. She's incredible. You can count on her to support the other women in the room. You can count on her to support the men in the room. She was there constantly, whether she wanted to compete or not. She would be there. She would support us. She'd help me. She'd talk to me. She'd tell me, what she's feeling. She'd talk to the boys. She'd help them out. Honestly, I count on her so much. So, Kara.
All right, so started the season going 0-2 in the first 2 tournaments and ended by qualifying for Masters. So, crazy story all year. Came in a little later, was super excited to have her in the room. I remember calling Amir and saying, hey, this girl's gonna show up. She's good already, I know it. Please take care of her. I rolled in late for football, was really happy to find out that Layla was in the room. Just absolutely crushed it. Stepped into boys tournaments, stepped into girls tournaments. I will say that I still remember very happily being at one of the other tournaments and you guys were at Prospect after Coach Amir that in his dress shoes ran a mile to get over there. And that was the day you started beating people's butts and you never looked back. So another one that I've known her since she's about 5 years old as well, so I couldn't be more proud of her and everything she's done. So not only has Layla become an absolute beast, but she is also our most improved girl this season. So congratulations.
know, when Layla wears her glasses, we refer them to, for the older folks in the room, we refer to those as lokes. I don't know if anybody remembers those. Layla wears the lokes, and when she walks around, I tell her, I'm like, put on your lokes before you go out there to go wrestle. And she does. She's a bad mofo, I tell you. This next girl, she was new to our wrestling group. That being said, every single time she showed up on the mat, she was asking questions. She was pulling me aside. She was asking, hey coach, how do I do this? She was constantly leaning on Izzy for advice, asking Izzy for how to learn, how to do things. I mean, again, it was her first time stepping in the room. She didn't get an opportunity, unfortunately, to compete as much as we would like this season, but she showed up to every single practice, pushed harder and harder every single time she showed up. Not to mention, she even came to CCS practice to help our girls get ready for CCS. Adriana, come on up.
All right. Always tough when you see somebody that comes in that you see all the potential that they brought with them, but they just started with wrestling a little too late. I think he had some combat experience or some jiu-jitsu experience. Came into the room very unassuming, very quiet, but when you saw him move, you knew that there was something there. Like what you did, fast on the mat. Really hope that you embrace it and keep up with it. I think you have a future in not only wrestling, but jiu-jitsu, all that fun stuff. Super quiet savage. So Elan, great job.
Next guy, great kid, respectful, hardworking. Sometimes he'd be a little lazy, but when I said something, he'd pick it up really quick. Also, hands down, the most flexible kid in the room, even his knees. Let's also not forget that this guy loves crumble cookies. Either he loves them or it's by way of his girlfriend. I love him. I've gotten an opportunity to coach him for the past 3 years. He's been an incredible kid. I know there's been ups and downs with injuries, but he shows up, he tries hard, he pushes every single person he wrestles with in the room, and couldn't be more proud of him.
He said flexible peanut.
All right, so
yeah, I don't even know what to say on this next one. This guy has been again gonna probably be emotional. Incredible, talented young man. Not only have I had a chance to help him grow up on the mats, but also in life. He's been a dear friend of the family. His family has been a dear friend of the family. It's been a pleasure and honestly an honor to coach him. One of, hands down, the most respectful people I've ever met. Constantly acknowledges every single adult and coach in the room. If you ever see him show up, make sure to come over, say hello, shake your hand, give you a hug. On the way out, he makes sure to come up, give you a hug, shake your hand. It's awkward. It's you find these little like quirks with your wrestlers. Like I have a normal routine before they go out on the mat, and Kristen always says, does this guy slap your butt on the way out to the mat? I'm like, I don't know, but it's our go-to. Caden, come on up. Caden's been an amazing athlete, like I said. Super respectful, always shows up, always shakes your hand on the way out. The kid is a stud. You know, put his heart and effort into this season, and it paid off. And I watched him grow up, not only in wrestling, and you know, there's a group of them who all got to grow up together, and it's been really, really incredible. Oh, sorry. Last thing. He had a super impressive record this year as well, with 39 wins and 9 losses, and he ends up getting the competition award this year.
All right, so it's a kid that came in a year later than I wish he would have, but it's really just put in the time and effort and energy that it's really proven that the more work you put into the room or the more work that you put into something grows exponentially. So his growth over the last couple of years has been amazing, and I think everybody else in the room has seen it. Took a second place finish at the JV Overfeld tournament, third at Lindbrook, second man, went undefeated in our duels this year, finished with a 9-2 record. You know, just got an energy that I enjoy personally. You'll find out shortly why. He is also going to be winning our Most Improved Award for this year. He's my own. Cam, congratulations.
Alright, this next one. Guy has a great personality. Is always pretty funny when he comes in the room, cracks some jokes. Unfortunately, didn't have the greatest opportunity to wrestle tons this season just because we had so many people at the same weight class. It was really tough, especially because he's only wrestled for a couple years. But I will say that he was way better at wrestling than he was soccer. Connor McFadden. Alright, similar to some of the kids who grew up with Dante, this next one has a big place in my heart. He never gives up, super tough. He's been looking badder and badder every single time he gets in the mat, scars on his face. Mom always wanted to kick my butt for getting him in wrestling, getting him injured. But the kid is a beast. He's an amazing human being. I used to think he was kind of smart. Yeah, he's super smart. He's very talented on and off the mats. He's a musician off of the mats. Big shout out to Dylan. He was also our unofficial DJ throughout the season. Dylan, come on up.
that I wish we had a little bit more time with. When he was there, a lot of time, effort, and energy. Grew a long way. Got to end the season or get close to the end of the season by stepping on the mat with honestly one of the best wrestlers in the nation. So lucky, proud of everything you did, bud. Take things love it.
I want to say something really quick about Lucky. Lucky literally showed up. Lucky was out of town for what, all of January essentially? He was out of town for all of January because he ended up traveling with his family. But as soon as he got back, and on top of that, he even messaged me before he went to India. He was like, "Hey coach, I'm gonna try to get some Oh, anyway, sorry. But wherever. That doesn't count. Yeah, exactly. Same. He messaged me before he went. Was like, "Hey coach, I'm gonna try to get some wrestling practice in. I'm gonna work out." I mean, when Lucky started, how much weight did you?
I started.
And how much do you weigh now?
Right now,
When Lucky started, he was 40 pounds heavier. He literally showed up, wrestled. No matter the results of his wrestling, he kept asking questions, kept wanting to get better. Literally, he would come up to me after every match, "Hey coach, what could I have done there? Hey coach, what could I have done there?" And it wasn't like, I mean, at some point it does hurt your heart, right? But he would continuously come into practice and say again, "Hey coach, what can I do? How can I get better?" And that truly did about it. All right, this next athlete is an amazing human. Definitely a healthy level of aggression, which you definitely want in wrestling. Occasionally he would let out a little like a battle scream while he was wrestling, get angry and aggressive, which was amazing. And you'd go out there super aggressive to take heads off. It was amazing. Not only would he do that at the wrestling tournaments, but he'd do that in practice. Him and David always had it out on the wrestling mat. And it was an amazing opportunity to witness, amazing chance to see. First time wrestler, I wish I had the chance to have him on the wrestling team more. One of the most memorable moments, seriously, in my entire career, which has been 3 years here at Leland, was Lucas Seppi. After the season ended, swimming had just started. Water polo or swimming? Swimming had just started. And he came in, we still had about a week left in wrestling. And he came in, he was like, "Hey coach, swimming's my main sport, but I've loved the opportunity to wrestle. I've loved the chance to be here on the mats with my friends and everything. Do you mind if I go to swimming practice now?" I was like, "Absolutely." He's like, "But before I do you mind if I give a speech to the team?" And I mean, it was one of the most heartfelt speeches that I've heard. He stood up in front of the team. That's hard to do as a high school student. That's hard to do as a coach. He stood up in front of the team and gave such a heartfelt speech to the team, and just truly showed the person, the genuine person that he is. And so, Lucas Seppi, please.
Next wrestler, a little on the quiet side, but he's one of those funny on the quiet side kind of guys. If you keep your ears open, you hear things every once in a while, bring a little smile to your face. A couple of the really impressive things that stood out to me. Number one, he did have some other commitments that would take him out of the wrestling ring. He didn't use those commitments as an excuse to skip practice. If he had something else coming on, he would roll in 15, 20 minutes late, whatever it was, well communicated. We always knew what was going on, put his stuff on, and get to work. I always appreciate that an athlete, I know, especially in a school like Leland, there's a lot of stuff going on. People are stretched pretty thin. The fact that he was able to juggle all these things, I think is just a big testament to how he handles himself. He's also someone that is friends with absolutely everybody. I've always heard people say amazing, amazing things about him. Shows up every day, wrestles really well, competed at CCS Masters, so had an amazing season. And watching him from the outside as an athlete, you see people that move certain ways. You see people that do things certain ways. He moves with this grace that when you're watching him on the mat, makes me think that that's what I looked like when I did it. And then I go back and I watch myself and I look like a frog that just stubbed his toe. So I wish that I had the grace and movement. No, come on up, bud. Yeah, no, I do. What are you talking about? I did see you with a big box of cookies one time, though, not gonna lie. All right, so wrestler that dealt with a ton of injuries, went through a lot of adversity over the last few years. When he did get a chance to get on the mat, really put it all in there. Was a student of wrestling, so even when he wasn't on the mat, he was watching what was going on. He didn't come to practice to sit in the corner and not pay attention to practice. He would jump on the mat every opportunity he got, interject what he had from his wrestling brain. So even if he was in a position where he wasn't able to compete, he was great at supporting all the team. Super respectful kid. He's great on and off the mat. Truman, congratulations, bud. Come on up.
Truman and I, we butted heads occasionally. We butted heads because he's so talented and had so much talent, but he was constantly dealing with injuries or constantly giving me a hard time. And I was always looking at him like, so incredible, but his hip took him out junior year, and then this year he had some additional injuries. But the kid was super respectful, always would show up. Even when we butted heads, he was like, Coach, I want to be on the mat, I want to wrestle. It was an emotional moment a couple times when we sat down, and he was like, I want you to be on the mat too. Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? So I just wanted to say I'm super proud of you, man. I know it was a tough couple of years, but keep your head up, keep moving forward. All right, this next one, I'd have to say by far the hardest working wrestler in our room. Always pushing himself and others and the coaches to be better. If I made a mistake, he'd call me out on it to tell me how to get better. If I made a mistake or showed something incorrectly, he'd show me how to do it better. Push us. He moved. He had an incredible record this season. It should be beyond proud of himself. He went 36 wins, 9 losses. He got emotional thinking about the losses. There's no doubt that this kid is a stellar athlete and will continue to be a stellar athlete. Like I said earlier, like wrestling is a really tough sport when it comes to both physically and I think more, to be honest, mentally. And overcoming those feelings is probably the biggest challenges that you'll face in life. And it's tough, but you gotta be proud. You gotta be proud of those moments. And I'd like to call Lucas up. kids grow up at such a young age, and over the past couple of years, he's dedicated himself. He's dedicated himself to wrestling. He's dedicated himself to being the best, and he continues to push. And I honestly have no doubt that he's going to go off to college and do incredible things in wrestling. And he had an incredible season. It was amazing. Some losses, but he's going to make them up. All that counts now is moving forward. I'm super proud of you. Oh, and I forgot to mention, he also gets the varsity MVP award for being an incredible stuff athlete. All right, last but not least, great wrestler, but even better leader, on and off the mats. He's, I can say, it's Dante, my son. His last one. He and I have grown up together. I had him at a really young age. We had an opportunity to grow up with one another, help hold each other's hands, through this life. And I've watched him become a leader, watched him stand in front of people and coach people, watched him stand by his friends and hold his friends up and back his friends up. Like I said, he's not only a leader on the mats, but he's a leader off the mats. If you ever need dating advice, he's always there as well, and willing to help. Kind of like his dad. I don't give good advice though. But seriously, in all seriousness, Dante was one of the captains. Lucas were one of the captains on the team, or two of the captains on the team, and they were constantly helping one another through thick and thin, wins and losses. They were there to support each other, and super proud of you of not only the wrestler that you became, but the man you are. So. For anyone who's considering being a coach dad, it's hard.
Hey, real quick, just to add on a little bit, because not only has his spirit, his attitude, his commitment, and everything he's brought to the team and everyone else and all the people around him earned him the title of being one badass wrestler, it's also brought him the leadership award.
All right, that wraps up all the individual awards. So, a couple things. Again, thank you guys all so much. To the wrestlers and everybody, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's been a privilege, it's been an honor. As you guys know, I'm opening up a gym. I'm going to be doing jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and kickboxing there. I've had this privilege and honor to coach the past few years at Leland, but with these future endeavors that we're going on, I've decided I'm going to be stepping down as coach, and Coach Jersey is going to have the privilege to take over the program. It's been truly, amazing moments, amazing times on the mats. Those times aren't going to go away. I'll be down the street. I'll have a gym. I'll have mats all day long. No athletic directors to tell us what and when we can do things. So you guys are always welcome to come. Parents too. You guys are always welcome to come jump on the mats and get that experience and feel that experience of what it's like. It's the only time it's legal to kind of beat up your kids a little bit. So like I said, it's truly been an incredible journey, an adventure. I had coached previously, like Little League, baseball stuff, my younger one, but I never had the opportunity to be a coach of young adults. And the connections and the moments and the camaraderie that you build is like, you know, I think I said I love you to most of the people who walked up, you know, and it's just not something you typically would do as a coach, but it's just a different sport. It's a different connection. It's a different feeling in the wrestling room. It's a different feeling that you have with these individuals, and I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys. I had a chance to grow with you. I had a chance to feel the feelings and, you know, those emotional moments, those angry moments, those exciting moments. How many times I was jumping up and down or wrestling on the mat while you were wrestling, you know, shadow wrestling. I mean, it's just been an honor, and I want to also thank the parents who have helped out for being there, supporting. You guys have made a dream come true for these kids, for me, for us coaches. We can't do this without you all. It's impossible, especially the team moms, team dads. Consider them team moms if we want to as well. You know, it's just been a true privilege and a true honor to have this chance. And I what's the saying? I'm not going to or hate to go or let's see. I forget what it is. I don't know what to say. Thanks, guys. I try not to let the door hit me on the way out. But for those of you who are still going to be at Leland, I told Coach I'll drop in. I'll help out whenever he wants me around, whenever you guys need any help. But hopefully you have a chance to come check out the new gym, and hopefully you have a chance to get to wrestle again and you know, coach you guys once again. So thank you for this opportunity, and yeah, cheers. With that, we want to do I just wanted to say a couple of things about, and I said it a couple minutes ago, but I just want to say a couple of things about the individual parents who helped out. Gary, he's been a dear friend. I mean, almost like another coach on the mat with us. He shows up for the parents. I mean, athletes obviously know, but for the parents, I mean, he showed up to every single tournament. He got to, not only did he show up to the tournaments, he got to the tournament at 6 a.m. with to be there to,
the man.
You know, I don't know, help me, hug me happy. I consider him my brother. Yeah.
Hey, this is the man right here. Gary, right there.
He didn't wear his shirt thing, which typically we're twinning. But
Coach of the year.
we'll go out to the but seriously, he's been a dear friend, an amazing father, amazing coach. Even though he never wrestled, right? Even though he didn't wrestle, he picked up on things and was screaming from the sideline while videoing. If you guys don't know, all of the videography and everything, all the videos that came this season came from Gary, showing up.
All right, and then very vital, the planning, the organized ones, the ones that tell us what to do and where to go and how to be there and when to be there, because neither one of us can put our underwear on in the right direction if we don't have somebody tell us how to do it. So So to both Kristen and Jessica, there's absolutely no way that any of this could have been accomplished. It's a thankless job, but it's the only way that I know how to say thank you now is to just say thank you. I really appreciate all your efforts.
I was saying this earlier, but Jersey says it much better. There's literally no way. There's no way we could have done this. This would have been possible without them too. I mean, Jessica literally. Hey, if you ever want to see your stats for your wrestlers, she has a stat sheet. Every single match, every single tournament, every single dual meet, how they won, how many points they scored. I mean, she's better than most of the league officials and people who work for the league. She was there with Lucas every morning, showing up, constantly calling me, reminding me, emailing me, texting me. This last 3 years, I'm not kidding. Seriously, like I'm not kidding when I say this. Like you have been incredible person, parent. And this woman obviously has us. I tell her right now. Thanks, guys. You guys know what they got?
Oh.
This is from everybody. Thank you. Thank you for all you do.
Gary, come up here and open that with us. Come on, what are you doing?
Say cheese.
Oh, it's a chair.
It's a heated chair. It's heated for you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Seriously, thank you, everybody. Again, it's been so much fun.
Woo-hoo.
Love all the new faces, all the new parents. Wish I had an opportunity to do this again. Whatever, just believe me, I'll be there. I'll be there supporting the younger athletes. I'll be there with Jersey on this stuff. Every opportunity I get. And thank you for the parents who've been around to help us grow the program, support your kids. And most importantly, thank you guys. Love you guys all. And it's just been an honor. So.
I just want to say one quick thank you to the guy that's standing next to me. I was hesitant to get back into the wrestling world for a few reasons. One of the biggest reasons was that I was not really willing to get back into that emotional place that I was at when I wrestled. It was tough. It was hard. I found some other outlets, found some other things that competitive-wise, fueled that fire without really getting back into the grind of what wrestling is. After a couple conversations and figuring out what kind of guy Amir was and knowing all these kids that at least 8 or 10 of you have all either been my students, athletes, whatever it was in the past, I finally decided it was a good idea to step into wrestling. For those of you that don't know, I am stepping away from football at Leland, which is going to free up my schedule a little bit more, which was a really big roadblock. That's why you didn't see me in the wrestling room until about the second week of December this year. So I'm really looking forward to the opportunity. Kind of grown to love something that I was frankly afraid to get involved in because of what it was and how consuming it was in my past. And I really think we found a good mix here. It was a really good environment, and I'm just kind of looking forward to see what we can do in the future. So again, without this guy here, without Amir, without Coach Andrew, without all the other kids that have been in, without Sam, without guys like Nathan coming into the room, right? Just the wealth of knowledge, the things that grow, taking, you know, my 30-year-old wrestling knowledge, trying to figure out how to put into words some of the things that I know how to do, but I don't know how to say. I've really gotten an opportunity over the last couple of years to hone those skills a little bit and really get my wrestling brain back in. So I appreciate it. Appreciate everything you've done. Thank you.
Yeah, I was hesitant when I was conversing with Darcy about whether or not I was planning on sticking around. Like, I wasn't sure how to go about it. Like he said, he has 30 years of experience, and he coached me. Even before we showed up tonight, I called him and was like, I don't know if I want to say anything about my departure, and he's like, you have to do this for yourself. This is an opportunity to tell the athletes, and it's been a true privilege learning from him, growing with him. In wrestling, you're in the room 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, and every weekend. So it's become truly like one of my brothers, and I can say that I'm very, very proud and honored to have him take over the program and help these young athletes grow. And I know we were talking a lot, but we didn't give any credit to Nathan. Nathan, come up really quick. I do want to give credit to Nathan really quick. For those of you who don't know, this is Lucas's brother. He great wrestler, wrestled for Skyline. Wrestled for Skyline the last couple of years. Both him and Lucas are got accepted to Humboldt. They're both going to be wrestling for Humboldt together, which is awesome. They get to go as brothers and help each other grow. He always showed up. Anytime he had free time, he showed up on the mats. He helped coach. Over the years, he started to kick my butt. Like, literally kicking my butt this last year. I'm like, I don't want to wrestle you anymore. It's just amazing to see these kids grow up and continue to push and continue to get better. Really, really thankful for you being there, helping out, and I'm sure Jersey can attest to that, showing up. Done talking.
Big wrestling. Don't forget to grab your photos on the table here to take home, and seniors take home your book. All wrestlers, let's take a picture together.
You